Thank you, Kaden. All right. I don't know how to fade it down, so I'll just kind of fade it like this and turn the volume down. Well, we want to say welcome to everyone for joining this webinar today. This is welcome to Urban Atlanta. This is our webinar that we're doing from our marketing team. This is pretty much under the umbrella of our business survival. Obviously, right now we are in the epidemic, the COVID-19, whatever you want to call it, and it has definitely changed business. So we have, for those of you that don't know, we have as a group just been taking this time on to say, you know what, our goal is obviously for survival for our own businesses, but as a group collectively, we wanted to make sure that we were putting out information, putting out resources, guides on helping everybody else's business as well. So again, during this time period, we have this theme called survival, Black business survival. And we want to make sure that us as Urban Atlanta is doing anything that we can do to make sure that your businesses not only see it through this, but actually thrive through this time period. Unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of businesses that are just not going to make it out of this. And our goal is for that not to be anybody within the Urban Atlanta umbrella. So that includes you. If you are on this webinar, that includes you. So we, again, want to make sure that we are providing the resources and the tools and the information and the education to make sure that you have what you need so that you actually survive and make it out of this. So we truly appreciate you being a part today. We have some great information today. Super excited about this. Before we do that, we are going to get into just some housekeeping. Let's see here. So right now, attendees, please make sure that you keep your phones muted. Actually, everybody is muted during the actual webinar. On your screen, you should be able to see two parts where there's a chat part and then there's a Q&A section. If you have any questions regarding anything that's dealing with the event or any of the speakers or anything like that, please put those questions in the Q&A section. Please reserve the chat to be for if you have any comments. So if you're saying, hey, that was great information, that was a nugget, whatever the case is, please put that in the chat. And again, if you have a question, please put that in the Q&A. Time will be allotted after each presenter for questions. So if you do have a question while the presenter is speaking, go ahead and put it in the Q&A section. And once that speaker is done, we will be addressing those questions then. If you'd like, you can take a screenshot of some of the slides that are happening. We will make this presentation available afterwards. So, and then also, I'm sure that some of the presenters will be able to make their slides available as well. But if you do want to take a screenshot, you can. Again, this webinar is being recorded right now and will be shared within 24 hours. If there are any other technical difficulties that are having, you can put that either in the Q&A section or something like that. And again, we will try to get that worked out. We are going to be coming out with more of these different webinar series, different lives that we do, different chats and things of that nature. So with that, again, we're very excited for you guys being here with us today. So with that, again, my name is Corey Network King Moore. For those of you that don't know me, I am the organizer of Pro Networker with one of the event concepts is Urban Atlanta. Urban Atlanta I created Urban Atlanta to be a place, and this is prior to COVID-19, a place where Black professionals and Black business owners can come so that they can actually meet each other, build a relationship with each other, so that hopefully they can actually do business with each other. That was the whole goal of this. Their goal is so that we can actually start recycling some of these dollars in the community. With that, now that it's the whole COVID-19 and we can't have physical events, we've kind of shifted our focus. We still want to make sure that we're introducing you guys to Black businesses, and if you have a business, introducing your business to people so that we can recycle these dollars. But we're also wanting to really focus on, again, pushing out this information to make sure of your survival. Can't stress enough how, obviously, and pretty much everybody's been watching the news, you know, we haven't seen in our lifetime seen something like this before. And it is affecting people's pockets in various ways. So it's one of those to where we still are for Black businesses and recycling dollars and things of that nature, but we have our focus is a little bit more specific now. So we are going to be coming out throughout this time period with a lot of different webinars. Obviously all of the events are going to be virtual. So we're going to be doing webinars. We're going to be doing Instagram lives, which we've already started. We have something called Conversation with Sierra, which we've already started. But again, we're going to be having so many different opportunities for you guys to be able to plug into the things that we're doing virtually. So we're super, super excited about that. All right. So today's going to be a great day. Super excited about this. We've been waiting for this one for a while. So before we get started, we have 4 speakers today. We have a couple partners today. We have a couple sponsors today that are going to be speaking. So you're going to kind of get a mixture of quite a bit of things. With that, our first sponsor today is actually, for those of you that don't know, I have a twin identical brother by the name of Corey Tax Guy Moore. He owns a tax company by the name of FFG Tax Service. And with that, I really wanted to make sure that you guys knew that during this time period, everyone should know that the IRS has extended the date on tax filings. So with that, tax filings is July 15th now. Hopefully everybody has gotten their taxes in. This is also really one good way to be able to help your survival is by getting that stimulus money that they have sent out. You can only get that money if you have filed your 2018 and or 2019 tax return. If you have not done so yet, you can definitely feel free to reach out to me or go to your tax person and make sure that that's getting done. You definitely want to do that. The other thing is there's a lot of loan programs that are going on out there right now. The SBA is having programs. A lot of this is still based on your tax returns. So again, if you have not filed your tax returns yet, you definitely want to make sure that you go ahead and get that done. If you have any questions regarding taxes, definitely make sure that you either reach out to the person who you're already working with. If you don't know anyone, definitely feel free to reach out to me. You can put your information into the Q&A section if you have any tax questions regarding that, and I will definitely reach out to you individually. All right. Now, before we get started, I have a poll that we would like to ask. So you should be able to, let's see here, look at your screen, and we have 2 questions that we'd like to ask. So those questions are, has your business increased or declined in revenue since COVID-19? If you guys can go ahead and answer that question. The other question is, and the answers are, it has increased, it has declined, or it has stayed the same and no change. The other question is, do you feel you could be losing money based on your current virtual presence? Right now, since everyone is having to go virtually with things, now that virtual presence is way more important. And that's one of the reasons why we are having this webinar. So we just wanted to kind of figure out how people are feeling regarding what they currently have. So real good. Give you guys a quick more moment to finish that. 16, got a couple more people.
Corey, I have a quick question for you.
Yes.
I have someone saying that they didn't get a link. What information can I provide for those that may reach out without
They didn't get the link for
this event? They said they registered.
Yes. So the link that I put into our chat, the main groups
That
WhatsApp.
number.
It's in there. And if Nina or somebody can send it to Sierra so they can get them on there. All right, so I'm going to end the polling right now. Then I'm going to share the results. So everybody should see this on their screen. Is that it looks like a couple people said that their business has increased, which is great. Most people said that it has declined, which has typically been what everybody, or a lot of people have been experiencing. And some people said that there's been same or no change. For those individuals that it increased and the same and no change, that's awesome. I mean, that's truly a blessing. For those people that says that it's declined, you know, you definitely don't want to have a loss in business, but just to know that it has been happening across the board. And we're definitely having events like this to try to counteract that. Do you feel that you could be losing money based on your current virtual presence? Some of you guys have said no. That's great. If you feel confident that you're not losing money because of that, wonderful. But for those of you that do feel like you are losing money, I truly think that this information that you're going to be getting today is going to help you. So great. Let's see here. With no further ado, I would like to bring up our first speaker of the day. I want to bring up Miss Sierra Black. She is Urban Atlanta's PR person, our speaker, our content person. She is our spearhead leader, my ace in the hole, my right hand, my left hand.
Keep it coming, keep it coming.
Project manager. You guys are gonna love her. So Miss Sierra Black, take it away.
Good morning. Thank you, Corey. That check is in the mail for you. I appreciate all of that. I appreciate that. Good morning, guys, and welcome to everyone who's come. Welcome to my home. Anyone who knows me knows that I like to interact with those that I am talking to. So before I even get started with the presentation, please hit me up in the chat and let me know not only where you're from, but more importantly, what you do, so I know how I can help you better. So let me see that chat box move. Tell me where are you and what do you do? Georgia. Somebody right here with us. Anybody outside of Georgia? I saw we had someone from Minnesota. Welcome. Anyone else? And what do you do here in Georgia before we get started? Virginia Beach, my girl Shay, I appreciate you being on the line. Anyone else? Tell me, what do you guys do? Attorney, personal injury, great. Alpharetta, Denver, Colorado. HR, thank you. I appreciate you, Nicole. Thank you for being here.
Hi,
Morgan,
Mom.
Jersey. Yeah. Jersey,
Denver, Colorado, my mom.
Okay. Well, great. Well, listen, I want to know what you guys do because I want to tell you just briefly about my background. My background is in communications and psychology and corporate marketing. And I think that is the perfect marriage to not only anticipate client needs, but also understand what the needs are. I am fascinated by human behavior. So I enjoy helping people, empowering people, and helping people uncover their own superpower. So let's just get started for today's presentation. I'm going to talk about content strategy. Why is it important? What it is, and how that is different from other marketing vehicles. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Let's see how this goes. Anyone who knows me too knows that I am technically challenged, and that's why I have the privilege of working with a team who helps me get through. So today we're going to talk about content that connects. Now, I can just about imagine that since COVID-19, since you guys been locked down, one of the things you guys probably have been doing is producing more content. And while I think that producing that content is absolutely great, it's not enough just to produce content. There is a method to the madness of producing content. And as you produce content, what I'm seeing too, and what I'm finding is that there are some missing links as to how people are going about producing that extra content. So don't get me wrong, producing that content is great, keep doing it. But let's put some strategy to producing this content. So the missing links that I found as I'm looking out online and in various areas, I'm finding that most personal brands are missing in this area. Either one, they have not either developed a message, a strong message, or they're not delivering it. I see a lot of captions that may want to talk about a lot of things, telling stories. But it is important that you have a specific and captivating message. Number two, the missing link is the purpose and why they're putting out content isn't clear. Believe it or not, guys, every piece of content should have a mission and it should have a purpose. I know you guys are like, is it that serious? It is really that serious. So that's one of the missing links. The third one is the content just is not providing value. The whole concept of content marketing is to provide value to your audience. So that's a missing link. Number four, your content does not represent your brand. A lot of people are missing the point, not understanding or perhaps overlooking that your brand is the core of your content. And that's why content is so important. Because regardless of what you may say or think your brand is, it is determined by the content that you put out. And the last missing link I think a lot of personal brands are missing is that your content is not evergreen. And if you're not familiar with that word, that's okay. We will get into it as far as what evergreen is. But what I want you to really give consideration and thought to is the importance of owning your content. We have several social media platforms out here that you use, and that's great. But it is important for you to create content that you own. So if they were to strip and shut down, people get locked out of platforms. Your content is on there and it becomes theirs. So when we talk about content creation and content strategy, make sure that there is a house for you to put all your content so that you can own it and it can never be taken away, as well as evergreen content. And that's content that is timeless, that it doesn't matter when it's searched or when it's Googled, that information is still consistent and timely. Now, I know for sure that you guys on this line do not fit in this area. So take this information. If you can use it, great, but be sure to share it. But I know I'm not talking to you guys. You guys are probably doing good. So now that we know that you guys are producing more content and we've identified some of the missing links, let's take a pause and just talk about and discuss what is content marketing. And it's important that you understand what content marketing is because there is a big difference between regular marketing and content marketing. Content marketing is indeed a form of marketing. But when you consider and think about marketing, you have push marketing versus pull marketing. You have outbound marketing versus inbound marketing. The reason why the landscape has changed for marketing is because consumers, you guys, have gotten wiser and you guys have voiced your opinion about how you want to be handled and dealt with when it comes to spending, investing your money. So now all the craze, content marketing. The three main components of content marketing that differentiates it from push and traditional marketing is communication. Regular marketing, it includes pushing out messages. They are only talking at you. They're talking to you. They're pushing that information out. With content marketing, it is interchange of information. It is communication back and forth. That is the purpose of content marketing. Because of the fact that content marketing is an interchange of information and messaging, it is built on relationships. Traditional marketing, there is no relationship. You can get an ad that has nothing to do with you, and of course, you cannot respond to it. But with content marketing, you can. That is the goal. The goal is to build a relationship with your audience. I always say content marketing is like dating. There are 4 stages in dating. There are 4 stages in content marketing. It's all about relationship. And the last and the most important thing, and this is full stop when it comes to content marketing, the most important thing you should be doing with your content is making sure that you are providing value to your audience. Otherwise, it's just simply content. All content is not created equal. So if you had to pinpoint in 3 words, what is content marketing? It is communicating, it is building relationships, and it is providing value. Now, when I'm getting ready to get into another aspect as far as more about the types of content, but before I do, I want you guys to take a minute and text and pull down some tips so that you have it right before you. I want you guys to text the word tips, T-I-P-S, and text this number, 833-592-0446. Again, text 833-592-0446, and the word is tips. And that sheet is going to be filled with information on the best ways and tips on how to develop your content and what should be included. So we now know you're producing more content. There are some missing links when it comes to it. And now we have at least an introduction or elementary understanding of what content marketing is. You have some tips before you that goes into more detail. But the next question is, which I often get, is this: what type of content should I create? Some of you guys have asked me that. Some of you guys haven't had the opportunity to ask me that. But if you've even asked yourself that, let me commend you right now. You are ahead of the game. Because of the fact that you know that there are different types of content, then you know that there is a variation. And this depends on where you're going to place this content. The most common parts are videos and blogs, but do know that each platform speaks a different language. And as a result of that, it depends on what type of content you put out. How do you create content that connects? Your content must be meaningful, purposeful, and rewarding. I want you guys to ask yourself a question. Who delivers a message? And this is someone that I think is a perfect example of messaging. Because when we talk about meaningful, it has a lot to do with what your message is. There is one person that I can think of that is very good at delivering messages. Whether it is good or bad, that person excels at it. And you may or may not agree, that person is none other than the President of the United States. He is a beast at delivering messages. He is a beast at branding. He is consistent with his messages, and he is convincing and forceful. And that's what makes him an excellent choice as an example of how to brand a message. Whether it's good or bad, it's consistent. Your content must be purposeful. Again, why are you producing it? But more importantly, when we talk about value, your content must be rewarding. It must fulfill the needs of your audience. Now, what can you do? What is the biggest secret? The biggest secret on content is engagement. Did you know that 80% of new leads generation comes from content marketing? A lot of you guys may be sleeping on engagement. But it is important when you put out this content that you actually engage with your audience. That means making sure you follow up on on comments. That means if you're doing live, talk to your audience. Engagement is huge. And that is one of the biggest rewards of content marketing. Here are some content marketing benefits. There are 8 of them, but let me just tell you, the greatest benefit of content marketing is, for one, you get to introduce yourself to the audience. Number 2, you create a perpetual platform to deliver your message. And number three, you are positioning yourself as an authority in your industry. There are plenty more benefits, but those three are the biggest takeaways. Three biggest takeaways for today as far as content strategy. Your content should always have strategy. It should be aligned with your business goals and KPIs. You should always have engagement, and you should always work on delivering and providing value to your audience. I have three easy do-it-yourself content marketing tips, or at least budget friendly. The first thing you want to do is make sure your message is clear. Get your brand messaging together. The second thing you can do is conduct an audit. Once you have your message clear, look at your content and see if you are fulfilling those goals. If you are on task with what your message is. Are you meeting your KPIs? And then the third do it yourself, I think a lot of people are either forgetting, overlooking, is that newsletters and blogs are crucial in building out your brand. It is a great source of content for you to build out as well as bring in clientele. Blogs are huge in that it drives people to your website. But newsletters are huge in that you are able to reach a captivated audience and deliver your message. So these are three easy content strategy tips that you can include. At the end of the day, again, there are many things that is included in content, but what I like to focus on is being a storyteller, an advocate, and a cheerleader. I always say, tell me your story and I build your brand. A lot was covered today in such a short period of time, but I have you guys covered. I created a 9-step marketing strategy worksheet, and shout out to Caden for helping me put this together. You can go to Sierra Black and download your own worksheet and work on that so that you can actually really focus on building out your messages as well as providing strong content for your audience. So that will end today's presentation. If you guys have any questions, I will be happy to take them at this time.
Okay, I'm looking in the chat and let's see here. We have Shay Porter that asked the question, do you recommend to, I'm sorry, what do you recommend not to get overwhelmed? I just don't see how one person can do all of this.
Shay, you're absolutely right. And that's part of why the four ladies and I have joined together, because we want to be able to be that team and that resource for you in providing what you need. It is overwhelming. And if you can't do it yourself, you definitely have a team here. That's the first thing. But as far as things that you can do yourself, those three do it yourself, those are the three things that really comes from you. When you talk about your messaging, it is important that you give thought to what your core brand values are, because the storytelling and the messaging is the foundation of your whole branding process. And I think a lot of people are overlooking that easy step, and that is something that you can do yourself. The second thing is give thought to the content you put out. Is it representing who you want to represent? Is it representing how you want to be viewed? So those are the two things that I think are important that you can do yourself. But of course, as the tasks get greater, don't become overwhelmed, because you do have a team here to help you with that. Any other questions, Corey?
That's it for the questions.
Okay, great. Now, all that I have given you as far as the storytelling part is, those are the words. Our next speaker, Nina Alexis, is the one that puts all that into graphics, into visualizations. The good thing too is that we're building on each other. So I give you, here's the foundation, and now the next level is Nina. So Nina, I turn it over
Good
to
morning. Thank you so much, Sierra. And Sierra's right. I mean, content is, and having a strategy is key. You have to have that first before you can even truly think about your look, your field, what do you want the visuals to be. So I definitely want to thank everybody for joining us today. And I pray that everyone is staying well, staying safe. Um, Honestly, right now, who's ready to learn about the types of graphics that you need to attract and engage your target audience? Type in the chat, I am ready. I just want to say that right now, the attention span of most consumers has plummeted to 8 seconds, down from 12 seconds back in like 2000. So that basically means your advertising has to be engaging in the first 5 seconds that someone sees it. And basically, and that determines whether or not they're going to buy into your brand or completely, look you over. So I understand most of you guys are authors, speakers, or creatives. And so you're looking to incite your consumer. And I understand this is increasingly difficult challenge. So the way to do so, as Sierra mentioned, is having a message and making sure that that message resonates quickly. And you do so with visuals and graphics. So I'm Nina Alexis. I'm a digital design strategist, and I assist entrepreneurs with creating the actual visual assets and the templates that they need to attract their target audience and to elevate their brands. And so some of the questions that I'm going to answer are, is visual content essential for your marketing strategy? How do you make your brand stand out? And does your business have all of the visuals that it needs to make an impact online? Let me go ahead and share my screen. So there are 5 digital graphics that I believe that you must have. And a survey done by Vinage in 2019, 68% of content marketers believed that the visual aspects and the content that they produced was essential and super important for their marketing. And so basically visuals help you stand out in your business. And so how do you stand out? First, you have to define who your target audience is, have visuals created that are eye-catching, build an online community with social media, Facebook, resonate and make an emotional connection with your community, and then understand that you have to be consistent when you're producing the content that you produce. Effective marketing graphics needs 2 things. They need to grab attention and they need to be consistent. So with repetition, of course, this establishes your familiarity with your brand, and it leads to clients trusting you that they can that you can deliver on the products and services that you offer. You have to understand your target audience. Understand what they like, what they dislike, what attracts them, what colors, what visuals, what elements that you need to attract them. Because the goal is obviously to gain loyal customers. And like I said, speak to them in a way that they can relate to. First, you would do this with a logo. Logos are so important, and they are also considered indirect marketing. So you can literally just see a logo, like the Nike check, and you automatically know what the brand represents. When it comes to logo design, size actually matters. You have to make sure that your logo is legible no matter how big or small it is. Logos combine elements, such as size, style, the color, what typography, font, and of course, originality. Simplicity is best. And the file formats that you should have whenever you're getting a logo created or designed for you from your designer, your graphic designer, they need to provide you an EPS, which is a vector, a PNG, which means it has a transparent background, and a JPEG, which is just a web safe version. There are different variations. You have a primary logo, you have a watermark, you have favicon. Sometimes some logos have alternate orientations. And so a brand style guide is a reference tool that you also need to help maintain the consistency of what your brand looks like. You see on the screen, that's a visual, a brand guide, which has the logo, what fonts are used, and of course the colors for that brand. This style guide basically lets any designer or developer know exactly how you present your brand to the world. And a few ways that you would use your logo is a brand guide, you're on your website, any of your social media platforms, of course, online advertising, any email marketing, and any watermarks for your imagery or your videos, because you want to make sure that if you're producing graphics, that no one can just take them and use them for themselves. So you put your watermark or your logo on your graphics. Secondly, we have website. And the website is basically the entrance into your business. Large, oversized images usually grabs attention. And that's what we consider a hero banner. So when someone comes to your site, you have a limited time to express what you are and what you do. So your headers and hero banners help you do that. And also, when you're wanting to grab attention, you would need to also use lead magnets and like a call to action image. Some great web graphics that you would use would be a hero banner, call to action graphics, any product or mock-ups if you're selling products online. And of course, if you have a blog, having thumbnails for each blog entry would heavily help with attracting. Caden's going to go in depth in exactly what you need for your website. Social media, definitely all the different platforms, you need eye-catching visuals, banners, think of headers, anything when you're doing a post or quotes, even doing highlights. These are all very important about staying consistent. Candy is going to actually go over all of these and how you'd use the graphics that you get a graphic designer to create for you to better engage on your different social media platforms. Also, marketing graphics. Graphics that you use in your blog or Pinterest to create like infographics. They are the best ways to visually represent a message that you have. And like I said, it's all about attracting and gaining the eye, and getting the attention of who you are targeting. Sierra, of course, mentioned this earlier. Last but not least, we have advertising. Of course, if you have products or a service, you want to advertise it. And one of the best ways to do so now is definitely Facebook. Facebook has a system advertising platform. The only thing with Facebook is making sure that with the graphics that you're producing, that you're only putting about 20% text on the ad. And so Facebook is very strict about this. And so having a visual component to your messaging is definitely key. So one of the things I want to definitely go over is making sure that you have a brand image and a vision, and having a designer or someone, or even you coming up with using a tool like Canva to create graphics that help attract the attention that you need to deliver your message effectively. So an effective brand is only effective, of course, if you're making the money that you need to survive. So at this point, if anyone has any questions.
Let's see here. I actually have a question. Actually, there's one. King, I no longer have access to my original graphic designer. Is it still possible to create an EPS file?
Honestly, an EPS file is the first file that's created, a graphic designer should create. If you haven't received one, then more than likely they probably created the logo like Photoshop and just had a PNG or JPEG version. And so to answer the question, no, you would definitely have to have it recreated in a program called Illustrator. The designer needs to be utilizing Illustrator to create these logos. If not, make sure you ask that question when you're hiring a designer. Hey, what program do you use? Make sure it's Illustrator, and that EPS should be one of the files that you receive for them.
Okay, and I have a couple questions that are coming in. If you guys can make sure you please put the questions in the Q&A section. I'm going to try to read these from the chat, but please put all your questions in the Q&A section. Stylist KDX, what was the first type of logo file you mentioned?
EPS. An EPS is basically a AI file that you can be read on various software platforms, depending on what the designer uses. And it's a vector, meaning that you can enlarge and shrink the logo without losing the quality. So it could be blown up to be on a sign, a billboard, or it could be shrunk down to be used on like a web page or a business card.
Okay, and there was a question. If you don't have a PNG format, that can be created after. If you
have the original source file of the graphic, then yes, it can be created after the fact. But the designer would have to have created that for you.
Okay. Another question was, how can I get copies of the slides? We'll make all the slides available after the event. Real good. I think.
So if there's no more questions, please connect with me on Nina Alexis Rocks on Facebook and Instagram. And also I have a free Facebook group where I am be working on and creating templates that can be used. Some of them will be free templates. Some are ones that you would pay a small fee for. But the Facebook group is DIYEventgraphics.com. And also I do have a special. I've created a free save the date template in Canva. And so if you go to this bit.ly link, bit.ly /TAA save the date, you can download this graphic and utilize this for any event or special occasion that you may have.
And Nina, we have one more question. This is from Charles.
Yes.
It reads, should we get an original content, logo, saying company name, etc., trademark before we publish on our site, social media, etc.?
I would definitely say if you want a trademark, you should have it done as soon as possible. So most times it takes a while when you trademark. So you don't necessarily have to have it done before you post your logo, but getting it done as soon as you have your logo and you have the files, get that done as soon as possible. I would definitely suggest that.
Real good. Well, if you guys have any more questions for Nina, you can go ahead and put them in the Q&A section in here. She will be answering them as we're moving forward. We have hit our commercial break. So with that, I would like to introduce Ms. Lorena Douglas with Mobile Marketing Branding Solutions. Lorena has worked with us. If you've been to any of our events, you've seen her at the front helping us with registration. She has some technology that has, in my opinion, has not been well utilized from just the market out here. And one of the things that we have actually used Lorena for, which has been a great marketing tool, is text message marketing. For whatever reason, everyone uses text messages. Everyone uses text messages before even emails. I mean, people use text messages before phone calls. but not many companies use text message marketing to marketing out either their product, their event, their service, or whatever the case is. Lorena's been with us now almost 2 years, I would say. And I know that it works, but it wasn't really until I had a gentleman come to one of my events, and I had been sending out emails and stuff. And he specifically said to me, he said, I wasn't going to come to this event, but then I got a text message. So I said, okay, you know what? I guess I will come. I was just like, it took a text message, but hey, whatever's going to get you here, get you here. So with that, we definitely wanted to make sure that you guys had some information regarding text message marketing and other types of mobile marketing. So Miss Lorena Douglas. Can't hear you, Lorena. There you go.
Okay. I would like to thank everyone for joining today. Let me get my screen ready. And for those of you, like Corey said earlier, text messaging is the way of the future. That's the quickest way to communicate with your audience, to engage them, to give them that reminder. So I will be sharing 3 ways how text marketing campaigns can grow your business and engage with your audience online and offline, just by adding 1 mobile engagement to your advertising mix. It can increase your audience awareness, even using the latest data communication technology. As Sierra mentioned about the content, using text messages with valuable content with a call to action to get that quick response. Nina also mentioned, as well as your logos and designs, you can share that more effectively using text messaging platform and campaigns. Just like today, we're on this webinar. Corey is sharing information with text messaging blasts, as he have done before in the past, even with his app campaign, to increase the audience to engage and interact, sending them that information right at the right time. So there's reasons for using it and why. Text marketing will enhance your communication, your channels. It also, there's a secret. All customers love getting coupons and promotions and reminders via text message. Wouldn't you agree? If you're currently using text messaging, put it in the chat, yes or no. There's an example for you to see. I have on the screen, you can text 63975 to go mobile. As you notice, that is a custom keyword. So that's also branding your market, branding your business, engaging your audience in the real time that you need them, testimonials, videos. You can learn more. If you don't like texting, or if you like to call, you can text 770-789-8739. And for businesses during the COVID-19 pandemic, it's good for all businesses. Just to name a few, coaches, authors, speakers, event planners, attorneys, just any business that want to extend and engage with their audience. Now, we can help you incorporate mobile channels. That's the way the industry is going. Mobilize. Everybody checks their mobile device. Even if you're in a meeting, you will reply back because it has auto response. You can schedule out your marketing campaigns in advance. So you're able to reach them right at the right time and send reminders, even if they're on the go. Oh, I forgot. I wanted to attend that webinar. The text messaging campaign allow you to interact with them, send them that reminder, even send them an appointment scheduler. You can schedule appointments. So that was just a little bit that I could share with you at the time that I have. And if anyone have any questions, you can put it in the chat. for the Q&A, and I can answer them. And if you would like to learn more, you can text 63957 to go mobile. That's my custom branding keyword. So if you would like to learn more and create your own, just like social media, you can send them to that next step. And this is just testimonials of different clients and scheduling. Okay, Corey, is there any questions in the chat?
Let me see here.
Anyone have any questions?
I don't see any questions as of right now, but I will have a comment for you, which is, if any of you guys, especially some of the authors, if you're having book launches, these are amazing tools to be able to use to be able to talk about, hey, I'm having a book launch. My book is now available on Amazon or whatever the case is, and doing it through text messaging. If you have a product or service, this is a really good, especially if you have a promotion going on, it's actually really good to use. But one of the reasons why I wanted to make sure that we had Lorena on right now was there's a lot of news that's going out talking about the different businesses that are right now that are in trouble and might not survive out of this. Text message marketing is a great way to tell your customers and your friends and your database, hey, I'm still in business. I am still here. We are still in business. We're still taking your services, things of that nature, and just to let them know that you are here and you're still looking to be able to provide them services. So again, if you have not thought about text message marketing, and again, I am super surprised that more people don't do this, definitely make sure that you reach out to her. So thank you, Lorena. We truly appreciate that. So now we
Corey,
are, oh, yes.
I was just going to say, can you put her text mobile in the chat? Lorena, can you put that in the chat for us?
Thank you for that. So we are on to our next speaker, Miss Kaden Jacobs, who's going to be talking to you guys regarding web design. If you've been to urbanatlanta.org, you would be able to see some of her work. We are super excited to have her a part of the team. Miss Kaden Jacobs, take it away.
Good morning. Can you guys hear me? Because the last time I didn't have my mute off. Good morning, everybody. How is everybody doing? Please say I'm good, I'm bad, I'm however you're feeling in the chat. I just want to know how everybody's feeling. Yes, like Corey said, today I'm going to talk about websites, but more specifically highlighting at least 4 key things that I need you guys to know and remember when it comes to web presence, virtual presence, digital presence, whatever you want to call it. All right, so let me share my screen with you. 1 second. Boom, boom. And start. Why am I having technical difficulties today? I don't understand. Where is it? I can't see my screen. All right. You still with me? Okay, so here's the first question. Which place would you shop at? I know that we did that questionnaire earlier today, and some people were saying that you've seen a decline in sales or revenue. So tell me before or after in the chat, which one you would shop at. I know which one I'm shopping at. Before or after? Oh, here we go. After, number 2. Yep. Okay. Now take that into consideration. Now, what does your landing page or your virtual presence look like? Does it look like the before or the after? And be honest, because we're here to honestly help you. So you can say it in the chat, you can keep it to yourself, but just be honest, okay? Now, when it comes to virtual presence, it's all about what it's saying to your clients, how you are represented online. And that makes a huge difference when it comes to your business. Now, virtual presence is everything from social media to Twitter to Pinterest, which also includes landing pages and websites, which are what I specialize in. Now, landing pages or websites, they're valuable channels, marketing channels. This is where you put, you know, what you do. This is where you sell things. This is where you collect data, data being potential customers, and so on and so forth. Now, today I'm going to talk to you about 4 tips of creating an effective virtual presence. The first tip I'm going to cover is buying your home and your land. And I'll get into what exactly I mean by that. Then the next one is determining your goal. It is very important for you to understand what your goal is with your landing page or your website. The next topic, copy and imagery. Now, this is stuff that was covered by Sierra and covered by Nina when it comes to your graphics and when it comes to your word and your content and what you're saying. And then lastly, of course, mobile view and optimization, which also touches on what Lorena was just talking about. Mobile texting is a huge thing. And I know that I get coupons by text and it makes me go to the store and shop. So buy your business domain. Buying your domain as soon as you decide that you want to have a business or you think you want to have a business is very, very important, because you can go ahead and register a business, but then find out the domain's not even available. Now you have this tricky part of trying to figure out what your address is going to be for people to find you. And you don't want a complicated address. You want an address that is simple, which means you usually go with a .com for most businesses. And if it's like an organization or a nonprofit, they typically go with a .org, or if it's like a school or something, it's a .org. The next thing you want to cover or make sure and purchase is web hosting. Web hosting is servers. Servers are computers. It's a place where all of your stuff is going to be housed, where your website is going to be housed, where the information that you put on your website is going to be housed. It's also where all the images are. And you can also use it to house the information that you collect from people, the names and emails of, you know, potential clients or actual clients, because some people, they have websites where they have a client portal, which is very helpful for their business. So buying your domain is number one, and there's plenty of places to get it. It just depends on who you want to go with and where you're comfortable. And then also getting web hosting. Web hosting, again, is the land. So domain is the house, but the web hosting is the land. The land is important. It's the foundation of how things are built on. And then after that, I mean, if you still have questions, you can definitely ask myself, or I'm sure you know somebody else, friend, family, that purchased a domain somewhere. You can definitely get tips from them. The next thing I want to cover is determining your goal. Now, when it comes to a website, especially landing pages, you want to have a singular objective. And what I mean is it's either going to be capturing leads and with you capturing leads and that's your lead magnet, you're going to be giving something away for free, typically, or you're going to be selling something. And typically you're selling something to your warm market being those who have already purchased with you, those who are familiar with your brands because you went and got your logo from Nina, or you've gotten your content done by Sierra on your Instagram. So it's one or the other. You can have a website, and I want to make this clear because I've had questions about this. You can definitely have a website and have as many landing pages as you want. So your website would be the main hub where they get most of the information that you don't say to them maybe verbally. And then the landing pages are specifically for selling or marketing something specific. Okay. Next, again, we're going into the compelling copy and the imagery. Now, when it comes to how you speak to your audience, that is where graphics come in. That is where the content creation comes in with the words. You want to have bold, credible statements on your landing page and website. And I'll show you guys examples of that. You want to have a data capture form. That is your contact form where you enter in your email, definitely. You enter in a first name and a last name if you want to collect that, a phone number, an address. You have to enter that in, and then you'll have a bold, bright colored button that, you know, has that call to action, which is color theory, call to action. And typically the eye catches it and it wants to, okay, press this button, give me my PDF, give me my guide, give me my checklist, give me my tips. And also it definitely makes sure that any images that you use, make sure they have an emotional connection to what it is that you're trying to say. If you're trying to sell something for babies, to make them sleep better, then you want to have an image of a baby sleeping soundly, or a parent holding a baby smiling, you know, because the baby is sleeping soundly, and, you know, whatever. Also with videos, the same thing. You want to have videos and images of your products being used by people, by you servicing people. Like I've seen several, yeah, and I've seen this on real estate agents' Instagram pages, where they have a picture of someone closing on a house. Like that's a great image to display on a landing page or a website and on your social media, because it shows that you are actually helping people. It gives you that credibility. It gives you that authority about what you do in your industry. So these are examples of what I was just saying. You know, the first one to the top, well, my left, maybe you're right, but you know, music is for everyone. And then you have the big get Spotify for free, that eye-catching. The next one right next to it with the blue and green, you have a problem being solved, a guy pulling a lever, he's going to try to solve this problem, and the girl on the other side, she got what she needed. And then, you know, bottom left, you also have small businesses. It's big, bold captions. It says small businesses meet big growth. You want to have that big, bold, credible, this is what I do. Same thing with the last one, sell your homes in a few steps. Oh, how? Well, there's that lead capture. Give me your email address or your street address and get more information. So the next topic I want to talk to you guys about is, using your cell phone. And not just using your cell phone, but being mobile. 4.4 billion people in January of 2019 were active users on the internet. Now, 90% of them were on their mobile phone. Me personally, I use my phone for everything. Do I have a laptop? Yes. But if I'm out and about, I'm going on the internet on my phone. If something comes across my phone, like a notification from an app that I'm using, like Instagram or Facebook or something, I'm clicking and I'm using it. I shop using my phone, you know? So having a mobile friendly website and landing page is crucial, like vital, like to the life of your business and to the life of just everything on the internet, because everybody is mobile. Now, when it comes to that, let me break it down into 3 separate sections for you. You want your website to be secure. And when I say secure, I don't know if you guys noticed that little lock at the top of the web domain address. That means your website is secure. And that means that Google is not only going to recognize it, but it tells people that it's legit and it's safe. And they're not going to get, you know, hacked. There's not going to be some kind of virus or anything like that. Like that stops a lot of people from going on people's websites. And it definitely makes me stop, because I get a warning that says this site might not be safe, because they are doing that now, especially if you're using Google Chrome. You're going to lose business. You're not going to reach the audience that you're here to learn about how to reach them. The next one, again, mobile computing. You want everything to be mobile friendly. And I'll show you an example of what I mean. And it has to be seamless, like seamless. When you go from the computer to your phone, it should look amazing, just as amazing on both devices. And then lastly, optimization part is more of the keyword focus. You want to use the right verbiage. You want to use the right words, terminology, however you want to describe it, to let people know that you're looking for them, to drive your traffic audience, to drive traffic to your site, and to, you know, gain those leads and let people know that you're out here and you're here also knowledgeable about, you know, branding or graphic design or content or PR or social media, if that's what your business is, or you're a lawyer. And that's simply using, you know, your industry word, be it marketing, lawyer, medical, and then using other words that are similar to, that can help describe what you do. And it helps you with being found on Google. And this is an example of a seamless transition from a computer to a mobile phone. Okay. So we have some comments. Now, just to wrap everything up, again, the first thing you want to do is get your domain. Get your domain, and once you have your domain, you get hosting. Hosting, you can get it from a variety of people. I also do hosting, and with the domain, I can recommend a place that I actually get my domains from. So you definitely want to do that in order to have a landing page and or a website. The next thing, of course, determine your goal. What is it going to be? Are you selling? Are you just sharing information? You want to, again, collect data no matter which one you're doing. You want to collect people's information. Next, the compelling copy and imagery, images, be it, colors, be it your logo, be it video. You want to differentiate yourself from your competitors, and you use graphics and words to do that. And then lastly, optimizing your website and landing page, as well as making sure that it is mobile friendly, period. Responsive. It has to be responsive. Okay. So it was said once, and this is ringing very, very true right now, that the internet is not a luxury, but it's a necessity. Okay. The internet is a necessity today. May 7th, 2020, as we are all in our homes and we can't go anywhere. Well, we can, but not really. Okay. So if you want basically this whole presentation, I created a nice little PDF for you guys, so you don't have to jumble around with PowerPoint and stuff like that. If you go to impressmodo.com/tips, and you'll be able to get all this information that I shared with you today. Okay. And then, of course, my offer for you guys today is, book a consultation with me. You'll get $100 off a lead generating landing page, and you can go to Impressmodo consult /impressmodo.com/consult. And that is it. I'm done. So I'm here for any questions. Let's be friends on social media. I'm on Instagram and Facebook. Okay, cool. Stop sharing.
See here. All right. So if you have any questions for Kaden, you can put them in the Q&A section. Right now, I have a question, which is, what is the number one thing that you're seeing people are not doing on their website that they should be doing?
Ooh, that's kind of tough. Number one thing.
Or top things. Let's say top things.
Top things. Okay, top things would be not promoting them, like, the big capture, the big I'm here, the first thing I see, your hero, which was something that Nina mentioned, your hero banner. It should be a big bold statement, like what was keeping me here on your site. That's one thing. The next thing would be images. Like, everything is like, look at Instagram, it's all about images. Pinterest, all about images. Like, images are so important, be it graphics or actual photography of yourself. Now, if you're an author, you're creative, you're a lawyer, anything like that, you should have photos of yourself on there. Not a whole bunch, but good key photos that make you stand out and let them know that I'm talking to you. This is who I'm coming to do business with, or this is the author of this book that I'm interested in reading. Another thing, contact. I didn't mention this in my slide, but definitely being able to contact you. Like, I need to be able to contact you outside of just downloading your stuff. I need to get your phone number. I need to get your email. I need to just have a contact form on your site so that I can get more information if what you already supplied isn't enough. So I'll just go with those three.
Yeah, and you just said that, meaning especially that data capture, and making sure you're getting that person's getting that contact information from that person.
Yeah.
Awesome. Real good. Well, if you guys have any other questions for Kaden, you can go ahead and put them in the Q&A section.
And I take it as a compliment if you don't. That means I did a good job.
You were super thorough.
Try to be. But yeah, definitely. If you want to go over the slides, I'll put the link in the chat for you guys.
And who's up next, Kaden?
Up next is my girl, my friend, my ace, my left and right hand and foot, Miss Candy. Looking beautiful today. Are you ready, Miss Candy, to school them on this social media world?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am.
All right. You guys enjoy. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, so I am Candy Martin, and we're gonna jump right on into this. I'm a little different because I want you guys to know what you can do on your own. Not just what I can do for you, but what you can do on your own. Because first of all, your social media manager, they are there to help you with your brand, not take over the brand for you. You is social media. You have to be social on social media. So they have to see you. So this is the reason why you should be going live and stuff like that. So people can get to know you, because people buy from who they know and who they trust. And they can't trust you if they don't see you. Okay. So let's start from the beginning of this. We're going to share this screen. Make sure that it's big. Hold on. From the beginning. Do y'all see the screen yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
It looks like it's starting to share now. Yep, we see it.
Do you see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Now we don't.
There we go. So this is going to be effective social media for small businesses. This is a way for you guys to be able to help yourself with your social media, especially if you're just starting out. Okay. So the first thing you guys need to do is separate your accounts. If you have a personal account and a business account, they need to be separate. Even if you are branding yourself, they have to be separate. Just like you got a personal checking account and a business account, your social media pages should be separate as well. If you have multiple businesses, you should have multiple accounts. There's nothing wrong with you cross sharing between your brands, but you definitely need to have a separate account for each one. The worst thing that you can do for yourself is to have 4 different businesses on one page, because when the viewer looks at it, they don't know what you're selling. Okay. Be consistent. That is the top problem with doing social media. You need to decide when you're going to post, and you need to post consistently. You can share the same message on Facebook and Instagram, but just like Nina and Kaden mentioned about the sizes of your pictures and stuff, you need to share from Instagram if you're going to share the same message, or make sure that you use the correct size for Instagram than from Facebook. Okay. Use graphics that pop out, because people see you. Your colors call them. Your pictures call them. If it's dull, they're going to keep scrolling. Just being real. Add a caption to your profile. If you are in business, you need to put in your caption exactly what it is that you do. Because the first thing that people see go onto your social media is their name. They see your picture.
Okay, it looks like we might be having some technical difficulties. Is anybody else hearing? Having an issue hearing? Candy?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. We're going to keep Candy up. Let's see here. Okay. What we'll do is this. She was probably going to join back in, probably have some internet issues. Joy, are you by chance? I know it's up a little bit sooner. Are you by chance ready? Yes, you are. Okay. Can you do a sound check, Joy? Can we do a sound check, Joy?
Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
We can. Oh, wait a minute. I think we have Candy back.
Me and Xfinity gonna fight today.
I hear you.
It's like, this is not when you supposed to be dropping my stuff.
Let's
And
see
especially
here.
when I'm paying the money that I'm paying. So
I hear you. Are you go ahead, Candy. We'll have you back on. If we have any issues, then we'll
Yeah, go
jump to
ahead.
you, Joy.
okay. So let me go back to where I was. So what I was telling you guys about was about being consistent, and I was getting ready to show you guys about the pup. So let me get that back up because the whole thing just fell. But being consistent is the main thing that you need to make sure that you're doing when it comes down to social media. Make sure that when you're being consistent is to, if you posted at 10 o'clock today, post at 10 o'clock every day. Now, what I do want you guys to do is looking and make sure that you're actually getting engagement when you're doing that. If you're not getting any engagement with it, then switch the times. There's nothing wrong with you switching times around, but you still need to be putting something up. You cannot be basically, just today I post and then 2 months from now I post again. You definitely cannot do that. Okay. Go ahead and go to Joy, because now my presentation will not share.
Well, go ahead and do you want to just go ahead and do kind of off the
Okay.
cuff?
Okay, that's not a problem. So basically what I wanted to focus on today was the things that you guys need to do on Instagram, because a lot of the newbies, the millennials, they are on Instagram. Most of us old heads are on Facebook. So you need to know where your audience is. If your audience is connecting with you more on Facebook, then you definitely need to be have your presence more up on Facebook, but make sure you're utilizing both Facebook and Instagram. But with Instagram, it's 4 things that I need you guys to start doing. The first thing that I need you to do is caption action. And again, that is where you go onto your page and put in what it is that you do when it comes down to as a business. If you are a business owner, or if you're an author, you need to say, I'm an author, I write books, whatever it is that you're writing about, make sure that you put it in your caption, because people need to know what it is that you do if they want to actually do business with you. They cannot do business if they don't know what you're doing. So if it's blank, you're doing yourself a disservice, okay? The other thing that you need to remember is the acronym. So when you know your platform, my first acronym is PET, P-E-T, and that's plan. Know who your audience is and what platform they use. E is for expand. You use the correct platform to expand your company's reach. Target, focusing on the right audience helps with sales. Then with the other acronym I want you guys to remember is PUP and PUP. So it's post, use, and personal. So post daily. And if it's only one time a day, that's fine, but make sure that you're being consistent with it. And it's better than nothing. Use images to increase interaction with your audience, as pictures get 85% more interaction than plain text slides. Okay. Personal, you need to be personal. Don't only post about your sales, show your personality, show your audience that you are like them, and that increases your following. And the tip that I want to give you that is going to help you the most is focus on growing your audience. Worst thing that you can do as a business owner is focus on sales. When you focus on sales, that turns people away. You always posting up about sales, 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 sales. People don't want to see that. So when they see stuff like, you know, you walking a dog or whatever, that makes it personal. And when you make it personal, people start following you and they start actually buying from you because they know who you are. You feel, oh, she's just like me or he's just like me. So when they see that, they actually start buying from you. So that's why you have to be personal. It's social media. You have to be social. Let's talk about stories for a second. Everybody loves putting things in stories, and there's nothing wrong with it. You have a lot of interaction with people on stories, but stories disappear in 24 hours. Don't forget to post on your timeline. So let's say you're dealing with somebody like me. I'm following you. I buy your stuff and everything, but you put up a sale in your story that is not on your timeline. Well, I went on vacation. I wasn't on Facebook and Instagram for a week. When I come back, that's gone. There's nothing there. So how can I purchase from you? So you can't leave money on the table, and leaving money on the table is actually posting in your story and not having anything on your timeline. Okay, so you're doing yourself a disservice by not having things on your timeline. You need to utilize the story, but also make sure you have something on your timeline. So the other thing that you need to be doing on Instagram is poaching followers the correct way. So poaching followers the correct way means that you're not going on people's pages and say, follow me, or put on those annoying posts that say, if I follow you, you follow me. Do not get in people's inbox telling them, hey, I see you following this person, follow this person. Don't do that. That's annoying. You get blocked if it's me, because that's not the correct way to do it. The correct way for you to poach followers is by, number one, following an influencer that is a part of your market. So when I say your market, that means if you're an author, you need to be following other influential marketer, authors, as well as if you are a pizzeria, then you need to follow, well-known pizza joints. And the reason for doing that is when they post something, you are supposed to be studying them. Now, for me, I don't believe in saying competition because you can't beat me at being me. So you have no competition. The only person that you are competing with is yourself. But you also go and look at what others that are in your market is doing for two reasons. Number one, to see what they're doing and doing correctly, and to see what they're doing incorrectly. You use this to your advantage because you can look and see how their posts are. You can see what their pictures are. You can see what get interaction and what does not. Now, with poaching followers, when you're doing that, this person has over 3 million followers. When they post up something, you're following them. You see that it's been posted. And then what happens? They got about 700-800 people that answered on the post. Well, they're going to answer a couple of people, maybe even 50, but you got those low-hanging fruit that did not get answered. Those people are the people that you need to be interacting with. And when I say interacting with, I do not mean for you to go and say, hey, I know what she's talking about, come follow me. What I mean is if they ask a question, then since you are now the expert in the field that you are in, you answer the question. You don't say, follow me. You just answer the question. The reason for doing that is now you have interacted with that person. And when you interact with someone, that brings that interaction back to you. Just like Corey always tells us to have that business card and hand that business card to someone, because that does what? It makes them connect to you. So you're talking to them, you're connecting with them, and that brings you a follower. When people start seeing that you're answering, that's going to bring more followers. So that's how you poach followers the correct way. Okay. The other thing I want you guys to do is the top comment or the unicorn strategy. And that is basically you following that top influencer that's in your field. and actually answering messages that they actually put up. So if they put up a picture, I don't want you just to go on that picture and say, oh, that's cute, or 100. You know how people put the little 100 up there. Actually answer it. Say something meaningful. Say something that makes sense on that post. Because then the more you do that, the more your answers are going to go to the top. The more that your answers go to the top, you become a top follower. People follow the top followers. Okay. So these are easy ways for you to actually get interaction on Instagram and also get followers on Instagram. Okay. And basically, that's it. But I do have a free ebook for you guys to help you learn how to create hashtags. You should be actually updating your hashtags every 2 to 3 months. So if you go to hashtag.candyenterprises.com, you can actually download my free hashtag ebook. And if you want to get a free discovery session for me to walk with you through trying to figure out your social media, send a text message to 678-374-9848. Make sure you put your name, put UA as in what? Okay. And then type discovery, and then I will set up a session with you. Back to you, Corey.
Awesome. And if you can put that information in the chat, just so that everybody has it. And again, a reminder, if you have any questions for Candy, you can go ahead and put those in the QA section. I'm sure there's going to definitely be some questions regarding social media, which is actually a really, really big thing. And before I bring up Joy, one question, Candy, have you seen, based on the COVID situation right now, and if you can answer in about 30 seconds, have you seen more traffic happening on Instagram versus there was before? Like what have you seen happening?
It's traffic everywhere, because half of the time we have issues with the internet right now because everybody's on it. So yeah, it's a lot more traffic now.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Real good. So with that, we have one more commercial break. Let's see here. We have one more commercial break. So we are going to be bringing up, I call her Joy Pearson, but she's no longer Joy Pearson. She's Joy Stokes right now. So I definitely want to honor that union, Black love. But I really want to say thank you to Joy for being part of this, as being a part of our organization as well. Joy has, and if you're familiar with Joy, she has Joy, so she's going to tell you about that. But Joy has helped us tremendously and helped me tremendously with really getting onto social media more, with doing the lives for our events and things of that nature. Joy, I really want to say what you have done has worked. I've had people come up to me and say, oh, hey, I wasn't able to make the event, but I saw you live on there. And then, Joy, I was like, yeah, that was me. Yeah, that was me. I was up there. I came up with the idea and all that. So, but no, I said, no, that is 100% Joy. She is doing some amazing work. And the one thing that I love about Joy is, how many people do you know that has actually created a product and is patent pending? Like they literally created something. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Miss Joy Stokes with Joystick. Go ahead, Joy. You're on mute right now.
Hi guys, how are you? Happy Thursday.
Yeah, it's like, what day is it?
Happy Thursday. As you can see, I am using my joystick. I asked Corey prior to whether or not I could live stream on my platforms as well too. So a joystick is an essential tool actually right now that will allow you to live stream or record on multiple platforms simultaneously. So on my tablet, I am on Facebook, and on my phone, I'm on Instagram. Sierra just actually came on my Instagram. So we were Instagramming at the same exact time. And one of the things that's cool about that is it will actually show on her Instagram that she is on mine. And so we can kind of cross-pollinate our networks, which is a great way right now to build your business. A joystick, again, is a tool that will allow you to live stream or record on multiple platforms simultaneously. I'm just thankful that I came up with the idea a couple years ago and that it is doing so well right now. Especially with everything going on with people having to stay home. You know, we are figuring out and we are thinking outside of the box on ways to grow your business, ways to create content. And again, I definitely believe that a joystick is an essential tool for this particular time. I've had people say that I've had my joystick for months and I never really used it until now. And I'm like, yeah, that makes all the sense in the world because, you know, again, when you can move around and shake and you can go to events like what Corey has going on, it's easier for you to network. Well, now with us having to be home, just like with the text message marketing, we have to figure out ways to make sure that our business is seen and it's viable. I actually told Corey that I set up a vending area for joystick in my garage with my table, with my products, and I'm going live now on both social medias to show off how to put your joystick together, whether or not we have new products, you know, I'm talking about the new products, and just kind of giving people tutorials on the best way to use it and the best practices. So I have created a coupon code in conjunction with Urban Atlanta. It is Urban Atlanta 10. It'll take 10% off your entire purchase. And it is good until May 10th. So I will share that with the code in the comments and also on social media. So thank you so very much, Corey, for the opportunity to be able to be a part of today, growing your business online, and with being able to be a part of Urban Atlanta and everything that you have going on. It is my pleasure to do your live stream for you. You can take all the credit.
And I do. And I do.
Perfect.
No, with that, so I have a question for you. And if anybody has a question for Joy, they can go ahead and put it in the Q&A section. But Joy, on this call, there are predominantly creators, authors, and speakers.
Yes.
What are some of the ways that either speakers or authors or even creatives have been using the joystick?
I have seen a lot of like bakers, you know, Dryer Buzz has been showing off how she has started creating natural soaps. So she's actually using the tablet piece to go over top of her while she's mixing and while she's making. So she's giving out tips and tutorials on how to create. She started a brand new business, you know, using her joystick. I've had a lot of people, like for example, right now we're on Zoom, but I'm also able to stream on 2 different platforms using my joystick. So say you are a speaker and you're speaking at an event. Now, not only am I on Zoom, but now I'm on 2 other social media platforms. You know, it gives you the ability to have stable content. You know, if you are a speaker or author who normally works with a videographer to create your content, now you have the ability to do it on your own because you might not necessarily be able to, you know, go out to a studio the way you normally would. So you can literally set your joystick up. The tall version goes as high as 7 feet. You can set it up. You can, you know, stand outside or stand in front of your banner, your marketing material, and you can actually record your own commercial. You can record your own content, and then you can repurpose it for YouTube or your website or your own social media platform. So, You know, even me and my husband, we just started a podcast, and I literally use my joystick to record the entire podcast on my iPhone. And then I edited it on my iPhone with an app called InShot. So, you know, you have to really start to think outside of the box on ways to create content. Right now is a perfect time to create it so that you can use it again later on.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we truly appreciate you
Thank
being
you guys so much. I appreciate
Um,
it, Corey.
Yeah, there are some questions for you inside of the chat, so definitely go ahead, or inside the Q&A section.
Okay.
So definitely go ahead and do that.
Okay.
We really appreciate everybody being a part of this. We're going to be ending in about 20 or so minutes, but wanted to say there was a question that I saw, and I think this was at the beginning with Shay talking about what do you recommend not to get overwhelmed? I just don't see how one person can do all of this. And Shay, and I'm sure there were some of you guys else who also had that thought. With owning a business, and everybody has seen the different memes, the big pictures, you literally have to be the creator, the manager, the artist, the promoter, the HR person. I mean, it's just so much stuff that you have to do. There's so much stuff. And right now with the environment everybody being survival mode, those pressures are a lot more. Well, it's one of those to where the reason why we put this event together was to say to you, yes, we recognize that all of this stuff is important. Your graphics are important. Your website is important. Your social media is important. And what's bringing it all together, you could have a website, you could have your graphics, you could have your social media, but if the words are not connecting with that person, you're not going to get that sale. So yeah, all of this stuff is super important to have, and you might only be good at one or none of these things. So that's where now having somebody else to be able to come. And we really wanted to make sure that everyone who is listening to this, you have a team of people who are here that specialize in these things so you don't have to, okay? Again, it's a lot, and you have resources that are here. So that's another reason why we wanted to bring this in. It's another reason why we wanted to bring in Lorena to be able to talk about the text message marketing, and bring Joey in to be able to talk about how to get your business out there some more. There's so much stuff that's out there, but again, utilize Urban Atlanta for your help in this so that you don't feel like you're alone with this. So with that, I want to bring up Sierra to kind of talk about all of this stuff that we have. We've actually created some packages. So with that, if you can talk to them about the packages.
I sure will. Thank you, Corey. And thanks again for everyone coming on. I just wanted to piggyback off of something that Joy said that I so appreciate. She said what she's doing now is showing people how to utilize what she's invented, what she's created. And I think that's so important in many areas. Oftentimes we have tools, but we don't know how to use them. When we think about, for example, even our iPhone, a lot of us just use the basics of it. Joy has edited a movie, picture, a whole video on it. There are tools that we have in our possession and we don't know how to use it. And that's what we're here to try to help eliminate too. You use the resources you have, the tools you have, how you can put them to better use. What we have today, what we're rolling out are 3 packages. And as Shay mentioned earlier, and as Corey just mentioned, it is overwhelming. And in full transparency, guys, I don't know and cannot do everything that this team can do. But I have access and I have resources, and that's why I am so happy to be part of a team. I don't need to know how to do everything. We have a tech guy. We have Candy, who said, who stresses the importance of social media. You must be social. She said, I'm not here to take over it. I'm here to help you manage it. So just like, I'm not the social media pro, the tech pro. They probably get tired of me because I don't know any of it, but I know they know. And that's the key. What you do not know, make sure you know people who know it. And that's what this group is for. We have created packages to provide you with the basics in building your brand. We have packages that are a one-time sale, but we also have packages that does require commitment for you to invest in yourself. So don't think that just because the four of us, it's something that we cannot do, because we want to work with you. We want to celebrate your success and help you grow. The packages that we have that we're rolling out today, the first one is a one-time package. And this is for speakers, authors, and creatives. And we fought over these packages to think, what is it you can use? The first package is a one-time package, and it includes social media graphics. It includes a capture page, and it includes either a press release, a newsletter, or email marketing. That is a basic package that can help any business in making sure that their brand visibility is consistent, cohesive, and together. Making sure that someone who is starting out has the ability and is in position to start developing a database, start building your audience. You know, that's one of the things Candy mentioned. It's all about the community you build, the following. And that's what the capture page does. And then as far as the content of it, there's various things we can do. We have two things listed here, but for one thing, create a downloadable. That's one way to capture your data. A newsletter, people are sleeping on that. So that's the one-time package that you get, one-time fee, but you get services for 3 months. You know, everything is spread out there, but it's a one-time fee that you invest in your business. The second package we have is more for those that are in position to provide on a consistent and monthly basis. And this requires a 6-month commitment. And you get your choice of a promo flyer or the graphics that are very important. You get your social media post, as well as a lead generating page. And then to add to that, you get a blog post. The reason why blog posts are so important is because it drives traffic to your website. So we have figured out how can we build your presence and start helping you bring that community, that following to you. Our last package, which is the Level Up package, is a great package for those that are really ready to level up their brand. It includes social media graphics. It includes 2 social media posts a day. It includes your lead generating landing page, as well as your choice of a monthly newsletter or blog. So we have something for everyone, Corey. And then, you know, we also have some packages that are not listed here, but we want to make sure that you at least are consistent and know that you have the resources. We're also hosting several other webinars individually. Today, we were only allotted a certain period of time, but each one of us are going on and doing our own presentation so that we can provide you with more information. So that's what we have. We also have a la carte services. So again, it can be overwhelming, but you have the people who specialize, focus, and love what they do to assist you in making sure that your brand is packaged well, that you have that presence, that you're consistent, that you have that message, and that you are able to drive them somewhere. And that is that lead generating landing page.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So with that, if anybody is looking at this and they're trying to figure out, okay, you know, where do I start? It's really one of those that you heard from the 4 speakers today. If you believe that one of those things, at least one of those things resonated with you, then that's where you start. You reach out to that person. So let's just say, hey, you know what? I need a logo. Just start there. Contact Nina. I need a logo. Great. If you know that, hey, there's multiple things that I need, then you can reach out to Sierra and be able to talk with her to say, hey, you know, you talked about the packages, and kind of see what's going to be better fit for my business. Great, start there. What I typically let people know is, and we've all heard this, what's the best way to eat an elephant? One bite at a time. One bite at a time. So with that, you want to make sure that you don't get overwhelmed with this, because there's a lot of people, you don't want that, what we call that deer syndrome, when you get stuck in the headlights and you stop. No, don't stop. You got to keep going right now. So with that, you look at your virtual presence. And one of the main reasons why we've had this event today, that we had that question on there, was talking about your virtual presence. I want everybody to kind of think about this. Before COVID, let's just say that there was, 50% of the people online. Well, after COVID, let's say that number is now 89% or 95% of people online. What that means is there's just more people up there. So what that means is there's more options for people. But the next question is that everybody should be asking themselves, but you should really be asking yourself, man, if I'm now in all of this traffic, how am I going to stand out? Like, how is my brand going to stand out from all these other cars that are on here? And I want you to kind of think about a road, like think about, and for those of you that are not in Atlanta, we have highways that have 8 lanes one way. And think about these 8 lanes packed with just cars. And now the next question is, what one car is going to stand out from another car? That's literally what social media is looking like right now, what online is looking at right now. But let's just say that you were in this vehicle and you were in, let's say, a Toyota Camry, and let's say it was silver or it was brown, but you might look like just everybody else. Versus if you were in this semi, this big 18-wheeler that was bright red, everybody's going to be looking at you. And that's really that visual that you want to kind of think about. Does my visual say that online right now? Is mine standing out right now? And again, you know the answer. Either it is or it's not. And then the next thing is, once somebody gets to my website, once they see my big, bright semi truck, now, once they are actually in the truck, will they stay? Will they give me money? Will they understand what it is that I do? And there's a lot of times that I've gone to somebody's site and I was like, oh, I have no clue what they do. I have no clue what their platform is. I have no clue what they're trying to get me to do. So it's one of those where you want to make sure that all of this stuff is coming together. And then there's some times when I said, hey, oh yeah, I'm interested in that person. Oh, you know what, let me take care of this, but then I'll come back to it later. And then I forget. And now, is that person actually sending me information to help remind me, hey, did you remember? I'm here. Hey, I know you got busy before. Hey, I'm here. Hey, is now a good time? I really want people to understand this point. There is business that I actually want to give money to, that because I am busy, I forget. That is why consistency is so important. That's why that social media piece is so important. That's why that newsletter is so important. That's why data capture is so important. Because there are people who are in your database right now that want to give you money, but they have so many other things going on. They got kids at home and they're trying to do Zoom meetings and stuff like that, and they're not remembering this. And that's where you come in, to be able to have all these tools to be able to consistently remind them to get them to where they need to get to. So with that, we have about 7 minutes, and we're definitely going to be ending on time. What I wanted to do was to ask the team is for any tips, or actually before we get there, if there's anybody that has any questions, that are attendees that have questions that they would like to ask us right now, we're all here, we're all available for everybody. If there's any questions, you can definitely go ahead and please put that in the Q&A section. But I'm going to ask the team, and that's going to include Joy and Lorena, if you guys had a 15-second either nugget that you want to leave everybody with, whether it's just a tip, whether it's a survival tip, whether it's a pivoting tip, a story of inspiration of what's going on now, I'd definitely like to ask. So whoever has something, they can go ahead and jump in.
Well, I can go ahead and kind of answer a question. One of the questions asked to me was, do I create media or speaker kits? To answer that, yes. And so my tip is even if you can't at this time have a logo or a lead generating page or anything created or designed, it's not in your marketing budget, you could at least have, and go to canva.com. It's a free site where you can create these graphics and visuals that you need for your brand. And you can create, or they have layouts for speaker kits, for media kits. And these kits basically just include your contact information and any information that you want to share with the audience. And then you can download a PDF and be able to send that, by email.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Joy. I'm sorry. I get it. Somebody hopped off. Oh, okay. Joy, go ahead.
So just real quick, I want to just also express that creating a YouTube page and having content on it is vital as well too. A lot of people use Facebook, a lot of people use Instagram, but me and Sabrina, we taught a class called Livestream 2.0 about 2 weeks ago, and we had a guy that actually had a YouTube page and totally forgot that he could monetize it. And when he went to his page, they were waiting for him to input his bank account information because he had like $500 that he had accrued over the time span of having his YouTube page. I think he had it for over 5 years. He was a radio host, so he would do a lot of interviews and then post it onto YouTube. So great example. This is a great informative interview. Corey, you could always save the video and put it on your YouTube page. And over time, you will be not just sharing information, but you'll also be captivating views. And again, over time, YouTube right now is the only platform that will cut you a check. You can get a check from Facebook by, sharing and people going to your website and buying, and the same with Instagram. But YouTube is the only platform right now that's allowing people to actually make money.
Oh, wow. Are you guys going to be doing that event again?
Livestream 2.0. Yes, we actually taped it, so you can actually go to, and I can put the link in the comments, but you can watch it over again. So you can pay I think it's like $30, and you can watch it again.
Wonderful. Yeah, please send us that because we'd love to make that available to our people.
Okay, sure.
Next tip.
I would like to share as well.
Please.
This is Lorena. Do I need to go full screen?
Oh, no, you're good. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Take that off. Also with the text messaging campaigns, it is an automated platform. It frees up a lot of time in your day. Plus it is a lead generator as well. So you, like Joy was saying, you can share your videos via text message. If you have authors, if you have a book coming out, you can share that information via text and direct them to that next step to your landing page to capture that information. They can even pay for it through the text messaging. It's just one step, one click, that's it. Like everybody uses their mobile devices daily to do research. If someone texts you, you respond. So take advantage of the text marketing campaigns. I am creating tutorials so that everyone can see how easy it is and the automation of it to take your customers from A to B, to capture that information, get their name and phone number and follow-ups. If you want to show them a demo or upcoming events from previous events, it allows you to utilize those tools in a more effective way. And I am offering a 10% discount for anyone that would like to take advantage of it. You can take advantage of it a one-time use or monthly, as needed. And so try it out. There's a free demo. I offer a free demo. And branding is very, very important. And text message allow you to brand your business.
Awesome. Real good. Anybody else?
I'll go next from Lorena. Yeah, I think, first of all, that product Lorena has is amazing. I think that is the hottest thing. I think everyone should do that, as well as the joystick. We talked about YouTube, but there's so many things that we can do that we're not doing. But bottom line, the importance of having an online presence now is now crucial, now more than ever. You should be creating as many footprints as you possibly can on this thing called the internet, the web, World Wide Web. And that's what content does for you. I don't care if it's a press release. I don't care if it's an article. It is your goal. It should be your goal to create as many footprints as possible, so that as people are searching, they will come across you before they come before the competitors. Now, when we talk about content itself, we want it to be strategic, so that even though there are 5 of you guys doing the same thing, they'll want you. That's the key. My nugget, my takeaway is, for regardless of where you are, what stage you are in your business, to be active. Oftentimes we can talk ourselves out of doing something, or thinking everything has to be perfect, or I'll wait for this, I'll wait for that. Be active in whatever you do. Even if you don't have all the pieces to the puzzle, start putting it together. And I think that is the most important thing anyone can do as far as building a brand, is not to hesitate, not to wait, but be active, be out there. This group is filled with resources, but even if you want to, I think you should actually try it on your own first, because we learn from our failures. So be active and do what you know to do, or do what you think you know to do, but also know where to go for professional assistance.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. Caden or Candy?
Yeah, like pretty much saying the same thing everybody's saying. Like, if for whatever reason your budget isn't where it is right now, and yes, we all want a customized landing page or a customized website, there are ways to get something. Like, the most important thing I'm gonna say is have a data capture form somewhere you want to collect that information, period. So if you need to know where to get one, or if you want one from me or whatever, then let me know. Just contact me. But have a form somewhere.
Data capture, super important right now. Data capture. Candy, do you have anything? No pressure.
Be consistent, period.
Be consistent.
Wherever you posting it, be consistent and start today. Nobody will know what you're doing, who you are, what book you wrote. They won't know anything if you're not online saying something.
Agreed. Well, that is, and Nina, I think you said something already. Yes, you said something first. So with that is the end of our event today. Before you guys hop off, if the attendees, I hope you enjoyed it. If you could just leave us a couple messages in the chat, just say how your experience was. Did you enjoy it? Were there some good nuggets? If there were some good nuggets, what some of those good nuggets were, that would be really, really appreciated. Again, this webinar will be available. We have recorded it. It will be available. We're going to be sending that out to everyone so that you have it. And again, we're here. We are going to be doing a live on Instagram tomorrow. If someone can, in the chat, put in our Instagram handle, just so that everybody has that. We're going to be doing that tomorrow. Who's doing our Instagram live tomorrow?
I am.
Nina! So that's going to be awesome. So we're looking forward to that. So that is at what time, Nina?
At 11 a.m.
11 a.m. What's the topic? To be determined. You'll see it tomorrow at 11. Tune in tomorrow at 11. So with that, we look forward to that. Soon we are going to be, like Sierra said, we're going to be having a couple workshops. I think Candy has an event that's going to be coming up here, I believe at the end of the month. Caden is putting something together. We have conversations with Sierra. Our next one is going to be coming up soon. So UA has a lot of stuff that we are now going to be coming out with virtually. So we're super, super excited. So again, thank you guys for being a part. We're going to keep this open for a little bit longer just in case anybody has any questions, if they want to keep chat. I think we had, okay, good. Thank you. Stylist Katie Harden, exceptional, awesome intel, outstanding. We truly appreciate that. Thank you guys. Let's see here.
Great job, ladies. Proud to be part of the team.
Yeah, this was a wonderful event. Really enjoyed it. Let's see here.
Agreed. This is great. Very informative.
Awesome.
Well,
Great job.
Mm-hmm.
Joy, are we trending? Are we trending on Facebook right now? Are we trending?
On Facebook and on Instagram. My mom said great nuggets.
Tell your mom hello. And
Corey, I think that's the only word you know. Are we trending?
are we trending?
Are we trending? That's the goal. That's always the goal.
You know me, I'm a social media guru out here, so
Yeah, we
in
know.
these streets.
Joy and Lorena, I'm still looking forward to attending you guys' events. How I can best use, guys, I want a joystick, by the way. I attended an event and I want a joystick, so I'm looking forward to getting that and using that. And Lorena, I just want to know more about how I use what the service you have, so looking
I'm
forward.
creating tutorials. Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Corey, thanks for giving us this platform.
Well, appreciate you guys being a
Yes,
part.
thank you.
So, with that, I
Thank you
think
for
that
having
we are about done. So well, look at that. We only went 6 minutes over. That's not bad. What?
Oh, great.
We doing it. We doing it.
Working with the king.
I'm trying to tell you. And let me tell you about the cleanup. Boy, this cleanup is going to be great, isn't it?
Heck yeah.
You guys were phenomenal. I really enjoyed it. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your workshop.
Thank
And I would
you,
love to have
Lorena,
both
for
of you-
sharing.
Yeah, at some point, everybody on Conversations with Sierra, and let's just keep
Yes.
delivering this information. This is great.
And for those who are here, that's another nugget right there. Get on people's, lives, have conversations. Followers exchange followers. They see you're live and, they check you out. So,
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, good, guys. Well, it looks like I don't think we have any other questions. So nothing else is being put into the chat. So again, attendees, we truly appreciate you guys participating. Again, for those of you that have signed up for this event, you will be getting emails from all the hosts as far as the interests are concerned through the registration. You were able to put in what some of your interests were. I believe some of them are running specials for you guys that are limited time based. So with that, you'd actually be able to save some additional money. So you will get some communication from them there. So, and because you have signed up for this, you will continue to get information regarding some of the things that we're going to be doing in the future. So we definitely look forward to seeing you again.
Yes. Bye, ladies.
Thanks, everyone. Everybody have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.